guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, bored today. Time to get into some trouble. Anyway, so it's time to change the strings on the Strat anyways. And so I thought, well, I've been wanting to put my dual rails back in for a while now. And because I really don't feel like investing a pile of money into new single coils that are better. And I am kind of really not a Stratish sounding kind of guy, but you know, the options are there. With dual rails, you can split them and turn them into single coils if you want to. So they have coil splitting. So anyways, I got these pickups a while back from Banggood. I got like 4 of them for like 24 bucks, which was kind of sick. It's a great deal. And of course, you only need 3 in the guitar, so I have a spare that I have an idea. But anyways, the way they had these things wired up is they had the red and the green tied together. What happens is, which I didn't notice before, was one pickup is going to be higher output than the other. And you kind of need things equal, right? And so I was looking at a video today of a guy who just put one of these in. And by the way, these are apparently Arctech pickups. Banggood doesn't tell you that, but he had the exact same ones, and you know, and apparently they're Arctechs. But I don't really care what brand they are. They're dual rails and they work. But anyway, so what he showed in the video is like he coil tapped his, and to do that, what you have to do is separate the red and the white. So China had green and red together, which was wrong. Okay. Because you do get one pickup that is lower output than the other. So anyway, so what I've done is I've redone this, and the green actually does go to ground. And I looked it up too on Google, and every dual rail pickup I've seen with the same color code wiring, this is how it's supposed to be. So your black and your shield, they go together and they ground out to the back of the pot. Your green wire goes to the switch, okay? If you are not going to coil split, you just tie the red and the white together, solder them together too, by the way, and then just, you know, cover it with some tape or whatever so that it can't short up against anything else. Now, if you are going to coil tap, you can either go push-pull switch, or you can get a couple little micro switches, which is what I'm thinking about doing later on. So probably the next time I change the strings, like in a year, because I'm going to order in some micro switches, and then this way I can coil split the pickups by having, what do you call it there, 3 separate switches, right? So I can choose which ones are coil split, which ones aren't. Opens you up to a wide range of tone, because then you can get your Stratish tone back and run them all singles, or you can, you know, mix it anyway, right? So anyways, for now I'm leaving these tied, and you'll know if you got the wiring right, because when you put the ground to your plug, and then you have these 2 tied, you leave them alone. Your green is your switch, or in this case tip, and you check with a, like this is just a little knife blade, and your pickup should be almost identical. So you got that right, you're golden. If you do the wiring the other way, you get considerably much lower output out of the one pickup. So this actually gives it a better balance, right? And so that's how we're going to do it. The way we've seen it on a video and the way we've seen it all over the internet, that's the wiring for these pickups. So anyhow, do this one pickup at a time, or you're going to really screw your brain up. Now this is a neck pickup over here, and its wire actually goes to the center of this, even though that actual position is really neck. Okay, and then of course you've got your bridge, which goes down here at this end, and then your middle pickup, it goes down in here. So you got middle, and then you've got yeah, this is your middle here, and then your bridge, and then the neck pickup, is basically in the center here. So just change them out one at a time, less hassle. Okay, then you don't get all messed up in the brain where things go. So anyways, we shall continue this little project, and once it's all put together, we'll give it a test and see how it sounds, because I do have a video on my channel where I had these wired up, and I had all three of these green, red, and white tied, and then, of course, you know, black and ground went to, you know, and it was like, it did sound good, but I think this is going to sound even better now, and because it'd be wired the right way. Anyways, don't go away. Hey guys, okay, so I've got all my dual rails installed, and I've got the green wire to the switch on each one done, and I've shortened up my middle and of course my bridge pickup. You got to leave more length on the neck pickup, but I think I'm going to actually shorten that a little bit more, because I'm pretty sure I can get away with it. Actually, you know, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, because I still got to route it through the body. I just don't want to have too much in the way of binding going on. That's the big thing. Yeah, you know what? I might... I think it'll be okay. A little bit of length actually doesn't hurt, because I'm going to need these wires anyway. I found out I have actually 2 micro switches, so I could actually coil tap one of these or 2 of them, but it's like, you know, I really think I should just do all 3 at once if I'm going to do it. So I'm going to order some switches in from China, because hey, you can get it like a pack of 10 for like $4. But anyway, so next thing I got to do here is I got to take all my red and whites. I got to tie them together. Now, you don't join all these red and whites together, obviously. Okay, just so that you know. Okay, each one has to be tied just like so, and then you solder them and, you know, tape it off, or, you know, put some hot glue on, which I think I'm going to go with hot glue. Just because it'll make it easier to get at, too, when I do decide to coil tap these things. But, anyhow... So that's the next stage I got to do, and then I got to tie all my grounds and shields together, and, you know, shorten them up to where I need them, and, you know, that sort of thing, so it's nice and neat and tidy. So we'll get that done, and then come back and show you that little mess. Okay guys, all the grounds and shields all get tied together, okay, into one spot, and they ground out to the volume pot here. So I got them all soldered. So next thing I've got to do here is tape them off. This gets a little bit cramped for space to do this, but you don't want anything shorting against something else. So we're just going to tape that like so. That should be good. And just like that. Okay. So that's all done. So I still have the wires free if I do want to coil tap these, and they're all covered with hot glue so they can't short up against anything. So next part is to get these to go right in so that they don't pinch anything. Make sure everything's sitting nice and flat the way it should. it's going to be okay. So all we got to do now is start jamming all the screws back in. Just want to get a couple of them in here first. So, before we go too far, we test. Okay, good. Everything's perfect. Okay, so I shall slam all the screws into this puppy, and we'll string her up, and then we'll give her a test and see what it sounds like now that it's wired properly. And then if you want to check out my original video when I first did a test on this Strat, you can see if there's a difference in what they sound like. And when I do the test, I'm going to actually do it on the same Mustang amp I did in the video, and we'll also test her out on the Marshall, or maybe even the Roland. We'll see. But I'm going to have to adjust my pickup heights too. But looking good, guys! Alright, don't go away. Hey guys, how's it going? So we're going to do the test now. And I'm going to start out with the Mustang amp, and it's on the metal 2000 modeling amp thing. Anyways. So that's the bridge, so this is bridge and middle. Find a clean tone here. So this is a 65 twin reverb, and I turned off the reverb on it. So neck, or sorry, bridge. Bridge and middle. Let's go over to the Marshall amp. I'm curious to see how it sounds on the Marshall. It sounded, well, I didn't like the sound of it on the Marshall with the single coils in it. So let's see what it's like now. This is just the clean on the Marshall. Okay, let's balance out the EQ here. Everything at 12 o'clock with the EQ. let's add some gain now. So I've got my my volume at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock on the gain. Still not too keen on that gain. Okay. Some guitars work really good on that Marshall, but I don't know. So, I say we fire up the Roland. And we're going to try just the Golden Brownie pedal. Okay, I'm happy. I say we definitely got a winner here. So, just as a reminder, if you're going to run these dual rail humbuckers, at least Arctecs, which are what these appear to be according to the guy's video, because he had the exact precise same ones, you know, and so you tie the white and the red together to leave it as a humbucker. If you're going to run it as a coil split, what you have to do is, of course, disconnect white and red and hook them on either end of a toggle switch, a mini toggle switch. And then you can switch between single coil and humbucker that way. The green wire goes to the switch, okay, and you got however many switch positions, but you'll know them easy enough. Black and the shield wire go to the ground on the volume pot. So all your grounds for the blacks and all your ground shield wires, which are the bare wires, you tie them all together, okay? And then what I did is, of course, I had a wire sticking out of my pot, and I just tied them all to that one wire, so it's just a lot easier to solder things. And like I said, green to switch, tie the red and white together, and then you've got 3 humbuckers. Now, I am going to eventually get the switches in, because I'd like to be able to run these as single coils too, which I think would be really cool. So then I can just go flick, flick, flick. I just got to figure out where I'm going to mount the switches. I'm thinking somewhere along here someplace, because I have some cavity space that I can use. So that would work fine for that, but I'll figure it out once I do it anyway. So, but yeah, the sound is, I find, very noticeable now that these things are wired properly. Because before, I had the other 2 wires tight, and I'm like, because that's the way it came, you know, they had the wires already pre-soldered together, and I'm like, well, that kind of doesn't make a lot of sense if, you know, everything I'm seeing here, and I downloaded diagrams and everything, and all the diagrams for pretty much any of the dual rails that I found, all the color codes are the same as these ones, and they show which one's supposed to be tied, and all the greens go to switch. So, you know, red and white gets tied for humbucker, untie them and solder them to a toggle, and you can switch between humbucker and single coil. So, kind of looking forward to that mod. That'll be pretty cool. Starting to remind me of a few guitars I've seen with a whole whack load of switches, right? But we're just going to use toggles. But anyways, so that's the Strat. She's really nice. And of course it looks a lot better too with the black and the rest of the blacks. I'm kind of doing a black theme on here. I still have to do my tuners in black yet, get those replaced. And if I can find a really nice pickguard that I like, then I'll switch out my pickguard at some point. And then of course my bridge and whammy bar, I want to get those all done up in black. But yeah, anyways, so that's how you install, wire, and this is what you can expect for sound out of them as well. So thanks for watching, and hey, we'll catch you on the next one.